Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Guys, this is our ribbon cutting. Good morning, everybody. This is a big deal for us. My name is Joe Kenner, President and CEO of Greyston. We are just thrilled to be moving into this new location at 20 South Broadway here on the 12th floor in Yonkers. Excited to begin what we're calling, this is a new chapter in Greyston's history. And I'll get into a little bit of that in a moment, but I really wanted to take this time to acknowledge some people that are here with us today, some very special people, beginning with my board chair, Andrew Yearley, chairman of the board of Greyston Foundation, Matthew Reich, chairman of the board for Greyston Bakery. Where are you, Matthew, back there? I also want to acknowledge Casey Buckley, who is our chairman for our junior board, who's here. Casey, just wave your hand in the back there somewhere. And also we have representatives from the office of Legislator David Tubiolo, Councilwoman Lakeisha Collins, Bellamy, and also from, I know Tasha Diaz will be speaking in a bit, but I want to acknowledge her as well. But just very happy to have you all here. And I know we have so many of our nonprofit partners and other community-based organizations here. So we are just thrilled to celebrate this moment with you all. 41 years. Greyston has been doing this, unlocking human potential, as we like to say, through inclusive employment. It began with a bakery and a Buddhist and open hiring. And no questions asked, no resume, no background check form of hiring that began at the bakery. That's been our incubator these last 41 years, taking those lessons learned. And what we want to do now is really have other people do it. We don't want to be unique anymore. We want other businesses to do it. But very proud to say that we're still here in Yonkers. And Mayor, we're very proud to be here as an economic engine to this community and the support that we provide. And that's really why this place is so special, because we're now taking the philosophy behind open hiring, the mission behind open hiring, and then we're now applying it to workforce development, education, and training. So that's what will be happening here. We'll be training folks in emerging fields. We'll be providing job placement services, case management services. We have an amazing transitional employment program that I know the mayor is proud of called our Rangers. We're expanding that to other areas. All that's going to be happening right here. I was just on a call this morning with the Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation, and they were talking about job seekers and what business leaders are looking for, and folks are still looking for people. But the people are still looking for training, and many of them don't know how to find it, don't know how to access it. Well, the Greyston Employment Opportunity Center is here, and we'll be here training folks and providing the support that they need to get them trained, to get them ready, and get them placed into jobs. We will continue to do what we do at Greyston Bakery in terms of providing jobs and support to our folks here in Yonkers and really beyond. But we're just excited today to begin this new chapter in our history. I'm excited to have so many of our dignitaries here. So with that, I'd like to turn the podium over to our Senator Majority Leader, Andrew Stewart. I'm sorry. See, this is why I'm not in politics anymore. I want to hand it over to our mayor, Mike Spano, who's been a huge supporter of Greyston, just been an amazing partner for us, and I'm so appreciative of you, Mayor, and the City Council and what you do for this organization. So, podium's yours.
Thanks, Sean. And I appreciate the fact you're going to let the Senate Majority Leader speak first, because he is the Senate Majority Leader, and we are certainly proud and excited and to know that we have a state senator who happens to be the Senate Majority Leader here in Yonkers, who delivers for Yonkers on a regular basis. So thank you, Senator. And to our friends here, I see, by the way, before I forget, John Rubo, Councilman, he's here as well. So good to see you, John Rubo. To our friends in Greyston, I mean, right? You're not just brownies, and but we've been able to work and partner together at many different levels. Whether it was housing, it's keeping our streets clean, and the brownies, and so much more, and the expansion that you're doing here today. The open hiring has really led to so much more. In terms of showing the world that if given a second chance, people can really soar and to reach their full potential. And that's what Greyston's all about. And frankly, was probably the impetus behind us removing the box, right, as you will, at the city in the city and on our applications, and so it's something that we're trying to do. We're trying to foster and to keep, and it's a work in progress. As you know, it's not easy because there's always those that go, oh, wait a second, but but we also know that we're humans and we all make mistakes, and for whatever reasons, those mistakes are there, and you either deal with it or you don't. And when you don't is when usually those mistakes can fester and can continue on and go into greater and bigger things. But when you actually give someone that chance to make a go at it, to be a part of all the great things that are happening in the economy that's actually moving along pretty well right now, shows that, you know what, I can make a go of it. I can be bigger and better and I can actually maybe own my own business and hire additional people from there. So we like what you do, and it's important here for us here in Yonkers that Greyston is a part of the economic engine, and again, you're showing the way so that other corporations, if you will, can see your successes, and you know what, and maybe build on that as well. Maybe they'll show us even better ways of doing things. You have shown the way for us, and I want to say thank you, and you have actually been very, very successful, and I'm glad you're here in this building. 20 South Broadway is, I did take 20, right? Okay, is a very important part of the history of our city. I mean, there used to be a train station down below, right? And we are moving the building department offices into this building. In the next couple of months, we're moving the Office of Planning and Development into this building as well. And so, again, it's committing and recommitting to Getty Square, and to making sure that there's more foot traffic here, because with more foot traffic, there's more business, more opportunities, and more opportunities for our people. And when the tide goes up, as we all say, right, and all the boats will go out with it, and we want to make sure that happens completely across the board. So thank you. Keep up the great work.
Okay, another person who's really been a critical supporter of Greyston, and anytime I need anything or have questions from the Senate, I reach out to Senator Stewart Cousins and Simra, who's back here somewhere, and who's now our legislator, and always calls me back, always gives me what I need. So we're just so appreciative of you, Senator, and Simra, of just the support you give to us. So I want to give the podium to you as well.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joe, and I'm really proud of your leadership and so happy that you continue this great tradition. And the mayor and I always let the mayor, we're in his city, and so it seems that it's good to let the chief executive of the city, especially when, we're doing good things. And so I really do thank you, Mayor, for supporting places like this and priorities like this. And I know we'll hear from the majority leader as well. But I think the city as a whole understands that there's value in everyone. And if we can figure that out and find a way to promote the best in people, we will all benefit. And so on every level, whether it's, with my good friend, the county legislator, but on the county level, the federal level, we all have to find ways to make sure that people have opportunity. That's what America is supposed to be about. But there's not every place that makes that a priority. And so when you get an organization like Greyston, from its inception, has made a priority of really advancing human capital. Wherever you are is where Greyston will find you and meet you, as long as you're willing to take the step forward. And so to be here in this space with the open hiring and the workforce development, we hear day in and day out how many, millions of jobs are going without people. And how many people as Joe was saying, don't even know about the jobs, don't know how to access the jobs. I think most of us here probably wouldn't be in our jobs unless somebody said, look, there's an opportunity here. How about looking over there? So people have to look no further, especially if you've had, bumps in your history. You can look to Greyston, and I was happy and continue to really try and find organizations that will partner with Greyston as a model. And even on the state level, we passed in both houses again clean slate, which allows for after you've paid for your transgression, you've done your time, and you're out and you've been able to live a life free of any other interactions that are negative with law enforcement, that you should be allowed to not be 20 years later, answering for something you did when you were 18. And I'm hoping, frankly, that the governor signs it. So again, it's another opportunity for people not to be perpetually punished when they've been able to write their path. So you'll always count me as a supporter. We as a state invest in workforce development in big ways. Millions of dollars go into this because, again, we care about it. And we know that when we have certain partners like Greyston, the money will be well spent. So, again, congratulations. And I'm looking forward to continued success for it's something that is really critical to all of us on every level of government. So thank you, Joe. Thank you.
When I go out speaking, a lot of questions I get are just, what kind of support does Greyston get from the government? And we are just so pleased that we can have representatives from the city here, from our state, and now from our county. Bridget Gibbons, who is the head of the County Office of Economic Development. So I want to give Bridget the podium as well.
Thank you so much, Joe. On behalf of County Executive George Latimer, I bring greetings and congratulations to Greyston on this important milestone. As Joe mentioned, employers in Westchester County are struggling to find workers. There's a shortage across the board in all sectors: hospitality, advanced manufacturing, construction, and this dynamic has forced employers to be more creative and proactive about how they find employers. Westchester's unemployment numbers are at historic lows, 3.1% when I checked today, but that doesn't reflect every segment of the workforce, especially those that are still struggling to find a job. That's why the work that Greyston does is so important. It really brings populations that have high unemployment and gives them a chance. Greyston Bakery is a pioneer of open hiring. 56% of Greyston Bakery open hire surveyed reported that they faced at least one barrier into employment. Just as a compliment to the important work that Greyston does, the county's holding a job fair on October 18th for formerly incarcerated and justice impacted people, and Greyston will be there with a table, and hopefully we'll be meeting tons and tons of people that desperately need your services. So so we really look forward to partnering with Greyston. We're so proud that Greyston calls Westchester County home, and I look forward to working closely with you as you expand and supporting you in any way that the county can. So thank you so much.
So, Mayor, it's not lost on me that Greyston is all about breaking down barriers, so it's not lost on me that we've been followed by some amazing women in this county. Senate Majority Leader Andrew Stewart-Cousins. We have Tasha Diaz, who's going to be speaking in a moment, and we have the head of Office of Economic Development, Bridget Gibbons. So we've got some powerhouse folks here, and it's great to see the diversity that this county represents being represented right in this room. So with that, I want to turn it over to Council Majority Leader Tasha Diaz.
Good morning. It's such an honor for me to be here, right? I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to Greyston for being such a hub in the community, especially communities of color. They have been within our communities for so many years. They give hope back to people that thought that they would never get a second chance. I can personally say that I know people that have been uplifted through Greyston. Now they are married, they have children, they've become productive parts of society. And it is because of what you, have brought to Yonkers for those people. You know, a lot of doors have been closed on me, right? But I never ever stopped. Like he said, it's all about breaking down barriers. It's okay to be different. It's okay to stand alone. You don't need a crowd. As long as you're the loudest voice in that room, they will hear you. From this point on, I've always been a voice to be reckoned with. I worked along in my community before I was in this position with Andrea Stewart Cousins. She knew my grandparents, she knew my family. She was a pillar in my community. She was the person that I looked at and said, you know what? When I get older and I get married, I want to be a fighter like that. I want to fight for my community. I want to give back something, not just to be here. And as a lifelong Yonkers member, I've strived to do that, and I will continue to do that. I work with an awesome administration. My mayor, your mayor, our mayor, Mayor Mike Spano, and I thank you. You know, when I came into this, I was new, but you let me take the reins and do what I needed to do to bring the community together and let them know they are all inclusive. So thank you for that. Simmer Brandon, you watched me grow up as Andrea Stewart Cousins did. You watched my children grow up. My husband got his start in this building. He used to work for Weissman. He worked here in 20 South Broadway. So to come back and to see such a pillar come into a building that my husband got his start from 24 years ago when I got married, that's heartfelt to me. So thank you. And I want to let the community know that Yonkers, whether it's on the legislative branch, the executive branch, we are here for you. Our doors are open and will forever be open. And as long as I sit in a position of power that I have, I will make sure that I will wholeheartedly represent my community as a whole. So thank you, Greyston, for picking Yonkers. Thank you for picking 20 South Broadway. And thank you, Mayor and our Senate Majority Leader, for being champions for our community. Thank you.
Wow, we could have stopped right there. I think Majority Leader hit the nail on the head. So the celebration doesn't stop now. Really, I want everyone to have some refreshments in our conference room in the back and do this for me. If all of the Greyston staff could just raise their hands. Everybody gets a check from Greyston. Raise your hand. I want you to meet these folks, talk to them, what they're doing, what they're working on. As the councilwoman has said, Majority Leader has said, we're open for business. We want to train. We want to get people placed into jobs. We want folks to thrive so that we can continue to tell those stories. And we're open for business. Make sure you get some information at the front desk here. Talk to our staff members here. We're here to support the community, as we have been for these last 41 years, and we hope for another 50 to continue to do what we do here. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. And now we get ready to cut the ribbon.
2, 1. All right.
Yay! There you go.